This is Siouxsie of Siouxsie and the Banshees, and your radio is on Rodney on the Rocks every Saturday and Sunday on KROQ FM in Pasadena.
Good evening, it's 8 o'clock and I'm for Rodney on the Rocks, and tonight, Siouxsie and the Banshees, plus many more surprises and plus the repeat of the original Siouxsie and the Banshees show, all tonight on Rodney on the Rock from 8 until midnight. Alright, that's Siouxsie and the Banshees, that's pulled to bits, and before that we heard Hybrid, then we heard Switch from Siouxsie and the Banshees, and which reminds me, speaking of Siouxsie and the Banshees, the Whiskey is the place to be for all your musical needs on the Sunset Strip. Tonight you can see Siouxsie and the Banshees, and there's 2 shows, and coming to the Whiskey in December, it's going to be the Kings, the Banshees.
Hello! Right.
What's happening? Hey, what happened to Siouxsie?
Well, her voice is, as a result of poor monitoring or something or other, she's strained her voice and she can barely speak at the moment.
Right, she was pretty hoarse, like a couple of songs I saw last night.
She's in a bit of pain, you know, so we're trying to just whisper to her and stuff, you know.
Right, yeah,
she's drinking tea.
She's drinking tea? Tea and lemon, Siouxsie, right?
Tea and honey.
And honey, right. Yeah, I hope she gets better. I mean, you guys aren't used to doing that many shows, right? Like, you do a show and then you have to intermission and go back and do another one.
Yeah, we usually do one every 6 months, you know.
Yeah, we play pretty long sets as well, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, like playing, like Susie's singing for 2 hours.
Wow.
A night, more or less, or more maybe.
So I could say all's not lost, because a little bit later we'll repeat the show when Siouxsie was out here before. We got a lot of requests, people that missed it wanted to hear it when she was here.
Yeah.
So I guess in the studio right now is Budgie, the drummer, right?
Hello, yeah.
And Steven Severin.
Yep.
One of the original members from way back when, right?
Yeah.
And then John McGear, right.
Yeah. Pretty close.
Right, formerly of Magazine. I bet a lot of people didn't know that they had an actual magazine on stage a few nights.
Yep.
Been here before and did it at the Whiskey, right?
Yeah. Enjoyed it both times.
Mm-hmm. So how'd you like being with Siouxsie now?
Well, it's what I decided to do for the next few months anyway. I enjoy it a lot. That's the main reason for me doing it.
Mm-hmm. Are you a full-time member now, right?
Well, nothing's been signed. There's nothing on paper.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm just holding out for more money, really.
Well, you have done work with some other bands too, besides Magazine, like Visage and
yeah, I've also done an album for Generation X a few months ago.
Oh, the new Generation X album?
Yep. Steve Jones plays on that.
Mm-hmm.
And myself. Although Steve put on guitar after I'd done it.
Are you on that single, Dancing with Myself?
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the B-side, but not
What, the
on
wild dub thing?
Yeah.
Great, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
They had that recorded before they found me.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. I've been busy since I left Magazine. You know.
Wow. How do you like the audiences compare when you were playing with Magazine up until like this week?
Well, it's hard. I can't remember. It was 18 months ago when I was here. I mean, in England, the audience is a little bit different, I suppose. But in Europe and I mean the rest of Europe and America, it's more or less the same sort of people who are interested in coming to see them. You know, not that I would say the two music were in any way similar, but you know.
Oh. So why'd you leave Magazine? Problems?
It took me 2 or 3 months to decide to do it, and I can't. It's hard to answer it in just 2 or 3 minutes, you know. But I mean, it's probably important to say that we're still friends, you know.
Right.
It wasn't like a big argument or anything. It was just something I had to do, you know, something I felt I had to do, and also because I was, you know, impressed with what Steve and Sue were doing, you know.
Yeah, right. What was it like working with Howard Devoto?
It's great. It's like,
because I always hear these stories that he's like real strange and stuff. And
he's loosening up a bit now, I think. I mean, he just, like all of us, just started in the music business. Excuse me. you know, 2 or 3 years ago, and in the beginning it's a bit of a strange world, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's handling it a lot better now, you know.
Yeah, right.
He's enjoying it.
Mm-hmm. And of course, Budgie was once with the Slits, right? Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Slits have a big following here in L.A.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How long did you play drums with the Slits?
I think it was about, I don't know, it's over 6 months, somewhere between 6 months to a year, I think.
Right. Are you on some of the recordings and stuff?
Yeah, I did the first album cut.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it really. I'm feeding back, aren't I?
A little.
You're always feeding back.
I did a tour with him, that was with the Clash, giving me enough rope tour around Britain.
Is that you on drums on that Heard It to the Grapevine? That version?
No.
It's only one everybody ever mentions, yeah. Oh, did you play the drums on that one? No, I was in Liverpool at the time, you know, and they couldn't find me.
Hmm.
So
Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool.
Yeah. So Stephen, so how long were you with Siouxsie? You're like from the beginning, right?
Yeah,
From the way back?
first 20 minutes.
Was this the time when Sid Vicious used to be in your band?
Yeah.
Way back then, huh? But there was like a lot of young punks that were at the show last night. I bet they didn't know that Sid Vicious was once in Siouxsie and the Banshees, right?
And there's a picture of the Banshees on stage in the new Adam and the Ants album, isn't there, Steve? With Sid and Marco on guitar.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the album here. I'll play it a little later.
Yeah.
Hey, did you, Steve? You wrote all the songs and with Siouxsie from like the earlier stuff and like Christine and all that, and Happy House and. What about these guys? Have they done any writing, like some of the new stuff coming up?
The song you're just about to play is like a group composition. It's a new single.
Right. Is it? I understand it was like released like on Friday in England, right?
Yeah.
Is that something to do with the holiday, Israel, Christmas, or anything like that, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Christmas record.
Is it? There are sleigh bells involved, right?
Yeah. And there's somewhere in the distance there's a Santa Claus yo-ho-hoing.
Well, tell me, is there going to be a new album coming out, a new Siouxsie and the Banshees album?
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, in answer to the earlier question about it, we are writing it, but we've got a few ideas kicking around, just at sound checks and stuff, you know. But we're a bit short of time in America because at sound checks. But when we get back to England, we're going to book a few weeks in a rehearsal studio and get writing, you know.
Do a lot of sound
Well, what about, we got to get you an American label here. How come you guys aren't on a label in America? I mean, you guys are so great. I mean, you should have a label.
No, it's all.
So, Stephen, why isn't there a label here?
I just haven't got good ears, I don't know.
No? There were some label people there for a few of the shows, right? Any ideas or anything?
Don't know, nobody's said anything to us about it.
Because I know that you were on Polydor and they did release Hong Kong Garden, and I guess I was the only one playing it, so there should be other people playing it. But now KROQ, they're playing Christine like 24 hours a day now.
Yeah, I've heard it.
Every time you turn on the radio, you hear it. Well, let's hear the brand new single. It just came out Friday, and we had it here on Wednesday. We actually played it here at the station. And here it is. It's Israel, Siouxsie and the Banshees. More to come.
Oh, don't forget the end.
You play on this? What did you actually play?
All right, it's big in Japan. We're here in the studio with Budgie, the drummer from Siouxsie and the Banshees, Stephen Severin, the bass player, and John McGeoch, guitarist, and formerly X with Magazine, and many, many, many more other good bands. We just found out that Budgie used to be in this group we just played, right? Big in Japan. What happened to them? Are they still big in Japan?
No, they're not even big in Liverpool anymore. They're sort of what's left of them. They started off like Zoo Records in Liverpool, and if you've ever heard of that. Pink Military is what Jane's with now.
Wow.
She's a singer. She was the singer. and everybody's gone off different things, you know.
Mm-hmm. And what was the cut we heard by Magazine? That's what John was in, right?
Yeah, that's 20 years ago, which is a favourite of mine because it's a really loose song. There's never any format for it except accounting, you know.
Right. Yeah, we just got a phone call. The girl was asking why you left Magazine and
Yeah.
all that.
I asked myself, you know, there's no one sentence except that I think I made the right decision, you know.
Time for a change, right?
Yeah.
And then, of course, Siouxsie's on to bigger and better things as well. I mean, real good band, real tight.
Yeah.
Okay, then before Magazine, we did hear the new single, Israel, which is out now, and I guess in England. I guess the stores are beginning it soon. Okay, let's take a couple of phone calls. Maybe some kids want to ask the band something. KROQ, you're on the air. KROQ, you're on the air.
Hi.
Yeah.
I want to know, is Siouxsie and the Banshees, how long have they been around?
Too long.
No, how long? Way back when Sid Vicious was in the band. Wait.
4 years.
1976.
Is Christine the newest song? Is that on that new album?
Yeah.
It's on the last album.
Is it out yet?
The album we haven't got a domestic release in this country for any of our records anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on the Kaleidoscope album. I guess it's available on import right now.
Yeah.
Okay. KROQ, you're on the air.
Yeah, whatever happened to the Bromley contingent? Like Steve Havoc?
He's sitting right here.
Oh, okay. What happened to Debbie then?
Debbie works at Paul Raymond's Review Bar in London, which is like a famous strip joint.
Oh, so exciting.
She's only the telephonist, though.
Well, just tell her hello.
Okay.
Okay.
Adios.
Let's take one more. KROQ, you're on the air.
Yeah, I want to know how they could compare, like, the LA scene, punk scene with London.
Yeah, what's that like? Comparison.
It's like travelling back 4 years in time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that, like, a lot of the English bands, a lot of the American bands sound more like 77 sound than English bands.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting to see it somewhere else, but I don't know. What do you think of it? Do you like it?
Well, I like them both. I don't know. Living in LA, I guess I'm more used to the sound of the LA bands. But I think the English bands, a lot of them are just better adapted to playing their instruments.
It's the way they breed them over there.
It's genetics.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot. Let's hear the back side of the B side of the new single.
Yes, the
Want to tell us a story about it or anything? Got red over white.
Yeah, Budgie, what is those drums called you played on it?
Timpanis. And timpanis and congas, and it's got lots of drums in it.
Okay, here it is. Siouxsie and the Banshees, brand new. You're listening to Rodney on the Rocks, and we just heard the Slits sing Typical Girls, and that was a record you drummed on, right? Budgie was on there?
I was on that one, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, somewhere.
That actually came out here on an American label, but it didn't do much. I don't know why, but it should have. And a lot of feedback here. And then we heard, before that, we heard Visage.
Yeah.
And that was Fade to Grey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With Billy Curry, Midge, myself, Rusty Egan, and Steve Strange, the mysterious Steve Strange.
Wow, who is Steve Strange?
Nobody knows, but a lot of people have got suspicions.
Really? Wow. And then before that, we heard the B-side of the single, right?
Yeah, Red Over White.
Red Over White. Who was Two-Tone Steve? You want to tell me what that was about? Were you once called Two-Tone Steve?
Yeah, in the paper somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I had two colours of hair at
Mhm.
one point.
Like a lot of people are doing that now. If you saw the audience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
A lot of them wear headbands as well, which is really odd.
right, yeah.
Who wears headbands? I don't know.
Oh, Adam and the Ants, maybe.
Yeah.
They don't wear headbands.
Mohegans.
Budgie wears wristbands.
See, look.
Oh yeah.
Marco and headband.
No.
Well, let's take a couple more calls. KROQ, you're on the air.
Oh,
Oh,
can I talk to Steve?
Yeah.
Do you listen to kabuki music?
No.
No?
That's got you in it.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Adios.
Adios.
KROQ. Okay. Wow. Is that what I was saying? Okay, KROQ.
Hi. Are you gonna play any of the songs for the Siouxsie and the Banshees?
Oh, we were playing everything tonight.
If I made a question around 7:30, are you gonna play it, sir?
What do you want to hear?
I want to hear Dances Mess Around and Rock Lobster.
Oh, okay.
we're not doing that one in the set anymore.
Yeah, it's a special
Drop
show.
that song. Yeah.
It's a special show tonight. I mean, we're doing stuff that you don't hear on the radio tonight. That's why I do this show. Okay, thank you. KROQ, you're on the air.
Yeah. Can you tell me when is how old is Siouxsie and the Banshees?
How old?
Yeah.
Oh man.
They're 4 years old. They're just a
4 years?
baby.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, KROQ, you're on the air.
Hi, Rodney?
Yeah,
Yeah, can you play some Black Flag tonight?
sure, I got the new album. I'll be playing it a little later.
Yes, pretty hot.
Okay, definitely.
Hey, Rod, remember I was there at the Go-Go's?
Yeah,
I was talking to you because I was hanging out with Black Flag before.
right, yeah.
Oh, right on.
You were like on the side, right?
Yeah, sure. Did you catch their show at Star Wars?
I remember, right, yeah.
It was
The one
right.
with the headband.
Okay, thank you.
Right.
Right, okay. KROQ, you're on the air.
Yeah, Rodney.
Yeah,
Hey, what's up?
what's happening?
Oh, not too much. Where are the Banshees playing next?
They're at the Whiskey tonight, and we're...
10 minutes.
Yeah. About half an hour.
Oh, you guys did a jam from Pasadena. It's a long
Right,
time.
yeah. So we better cut it short.
We've got a
Okay,
helicopter.
Rodney.
Okay, thanks a lot. Bye. KROQ, you're on the air. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, where are you? Yeah, where are you guys gonna be playing next? Be coming back to LA, do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe spring.
Spring's about as close as specific as we can get.
Where are you going from here? I mean, after you leave LA, back to England?
Back to London.
Disneyland tonight.
Disneyland.
Then we've got a Christmas show in London, and then I suppose we'll be thinking about recording another album.
Right, and hopefully we'll get the album out on a label in America.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, that's what we're over here for.
Right, and
Gotta get one of them.
yeah, and so where did you play? Like what cities? If you were here, like New York, you did that?
Yeah, we flew
Philadelphia,
into New York.
Long Island, New Haven, was it?
Toronto, in Canada, we played.
San Francisco, and yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a lot of people did think you were playing in San Diego. Are you playing San Diego tomorrow night?
No, definitely not.
Definitely not,
We're only
right.
doing one show tonight.
One show, the last show in the States will be tonight at the Whiskey.
That's right. Yeah.
It'll be a good one.
Okay, a lot of people were saying they're congratulating you for ripping off the guy's swastika on his arm on Friday.
Yeah.
It was like real brave. It took a lot of courage. I mean, people have been waiting, I guess.
Well, I was wearing a T-shirt with the Star of David on it, and I was in a bit of a bad mood, and I don't hold with Nazi principles whatsoever, and I just went for it, you know.
So you think that the guy was mad, or?
Well, he's probably mad because it probably cost him 90 cents or something, you know.
Yeah.
But if he wants to come round, I'll give him his 90 cents back, you know.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank you guys for coming by, and too bad Siouxsie wasn't here. I hope she gets better with her voice, going hoarse and everything. And we'll be hearing from Siouxsie in a few minutes. We're going to put the repeat of the show when she was here before.
Yeah, I heard it. It's good.
It's a good show. It really was. Anything you want to hear off of the Kaleidoscope album before you leave?
Desert Kisses would be nice.
Say hello, Nils.
Hello, Nils.
Hello, Nils. Nils
If you're out
listening
there
in.
somewhere, yeah.
I mean, Nils has got a whole story. You know, he's got some history behind him too, as well, right?
Hello, Siouxsie.
It's all behind him.